Welcome back to Mysterious 51, where Jordan's life mission is to give me a heart attack.
And I'm doing fantastic.
So today we have a wonderful story that Jordan did, so it's probably going to piss me off.
Oh, yes, very much so.
So I want to thank everybody for coming back and watching this. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Or it might be the episode that Jordan finally kills me. Stay tuned and see.
It could be, it might not be. I've done worse. Innocent until proven guilty. We've all heard it. We talk about it here on the show. But more often than not, due to bias, racism, sexism, or just the need to bring justice, we often see a lot more guilty until proven innocent. But the case I have for you today is all about believing fact over fiction. It's about racism, about classism, and about corruption. This is the Duke Lacrosse scandal. You ever heard this story?
I don't know. I was thinking about this. I may have heard it a time, or at least parts of it or something, but it's not something that really with me, I guess. So I couldn't even tell you what actually happened. Although I think I vaguely starting to come back to me now. And if it is, this one's really going to piss me off.
This story, well, before I even get into it, let me tell you, this was recommended to me to cover by a friend. And without them recommending this to us, I would not have even realized it was a thing. So thank you. Because this is all over the place. When I started looking into it, the deeper that I got, the more it was like, where is this going? What is happening?
And a nice little segue, but if you guys have any ideas of videos that you want to cover, let us know.
We love ideas. Let us know.
Just please, none with kids. Jordan tortures me enough. But yeah, like I said, I don't remember too much about this. Like I'm vaguely thinking I'm remembering it, but I could be getting it conflated with something else. So I'll wait to make judgment until you piss me off, which is, I have fears coming up pretty quickly. Should have took blood pressure pills today.
Probably.
Every time Jordan records, I always say that I need blood pressure pills, and I never do it, but I really should start.
Those are just the really good stories. What can I say?
Really good. Ha. All right, let's start, though. Let's get it going.
Okay, so before we begin, if this story was a Reddit Am I the Asshole thread, it would end in everybody sucks, so prepare yourself. March 13th, 2006, in Durham, North Carolina. The Duke Lacrosse team was holding a spring break party, and they decided to hire a couple of strippers. One of the members called a local escort service, requesting specifically 2 white escorts for a bachelor party to arrive at 11 p.m. In attendance was a large portion of the lacrosse team and some friends, roughly 40 men. At 11, the first dancer, her name was Kim, arrived. And it wasn't until around 11:45 that night that the second dancer, her name's Crystal Mangum, she arrived, being dropped off by her boyfriend. While the two worked for the same company, they didn't actually know each other, but they were paid about $400 each once they arrived, and they were both taken to the restroom of the home because one of the girls didn't arrive in the clothes that she wanted to actually dance in, which is fine. After they changed, they started to dance, but it was pretty, like right off the bat, it was known that Crystal was noticeably unsteady on her feet. And it was making it really difficult for Kim, the first dancer, to perform. They only danced for about 5 minutes, just fumbling and falling all over the place, before the men at the party began to make really crude sexual comments, some including a broomstick, leading to an argument that led to racially charged insults being thrown from both sides. It should be noted that neither dancer was white, as had been requested. Crystal is black and Kim is mixed. Basically, the men were mad. They weren't getting what they paid for, and the women were just mad. Kim was ultimately done dancing once the slurs started getting thrown around, and she took Crystal to the back of the house. At this point, one of the men apologized for the broomstick comment and tried to get them to come back inside and continue dancing. He wanted to get his money worth. Kim was still understandably angry, but Crystal was just so out of it. She was still unsteady, and for whatever reason, they went back inside, going kind of in and out like through the whole night. Through the back door, into the bathroom again. While they were outside, some of the guys found one of the women's makeup bags with the money that they had been paid inside of it, and they stole some of it back, basically saying that, you know, we didn't get our money's worth, so they took some of it right back out. They only got a 5-minute dance. Not saying it's right. I get it. Finally, around 12:30 in the morning, Crystal got into Kim's car, and the men locked the doors to the house, barring them from coming back in. Crystal, in whatever haze she was in, still tried to get back inside, just banging on the door.
Okay.
At some point in the next 7 minutes, Crystal basically passed out on the back porch, and during this time, a photo of her was taken by one of the men. Shortly after, one of the guys ended up helping her into Kim's car, and they finally left. Kim called 911 to report the racist comments at the house, and then drove to a nearby grocery store trying to get Crystal out of the car. The guard there ended up calling 911, saying that there was a woman in this car that, you know, wouldn't get out. When authorities came to help, they realized Crystal was either drunk or high and took her to a nearby hospital.
Okay.
I knew Matt had some stuff to say. So.
Yeah. First off, these guys are fucking assholes.
Agreed. Like I said at the very beginning, everybody sucks except maybe Kim in this story. Yeah. Honestly, pretty much everybody in this story sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the facts.
I don't know why Crystal sucks at this point, but
just wait. You just wait. Trust me. Because right now in the beginning of the story, nobody looks good. Mm-hmm. Kim is looking decent, but nobody looks good.
Yeah, I don't know. These guys are fucking assholes. That's all I'm going to say for now until I know more of the story.
No, that's actually a good thing. So this is actually setting you up for exactly what we think the story's going to be, which is a good thing. So this story, and here in a minute you'll find out why, a lot of it is about racism and classism. Yeah. So immediately, your first reaction to hearing this story is, oh my God, these asshole rich white boys. And everybody thinks that. That's understandable. They are obviously proving that they've got some not great sides, which is fair.
See, my first thought was these asshole college students who probably don't have any real life experience. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I don't, in this instance at least, I don't think, I mean, obviously race played a part in it, but I don't know. They just seem like assholes. I mean, even you take out just the racist comments and just focus on the other stuff, they're still fucking assholes.
Yeah, they are. I agree.
I mean, them being racist makes it worse, but they're just fucking assholes. Period. I mean, you don't fucking treat people like that. That's, simple, I don't know, fucking just basic stuff that we should all learn as children.
And I agree entirely, but let me tell you, how the story turns from here. because this is just the very snippet of the beginning. This isn't even where stuff begins, okay? This is just the very, very beginning. So at this point, it's a little unclear how, but obviously they got Crystal to the hospital. But a comment was made about Crystal having kids and having CPS come in. It seemed like she was an unfit mom, whatever. But that's where things changed, because at that point, they asked her if she was raped, and she said yes. A rape kit was performed, and in a surprising turn of events, if you know how rape cases usually end up going, police got super involved. The rape exam turned out to have basically no evidence. Crystal had a couple of scrapes on her knee and her foot and a bit of swelling in the genitals. But Crystal admitted to using a vibrator before the party, and the hospital also noted that she had a yeast infection that would cause some swelling. So, like I said, remember how I said you weren't going to like the people in this case because it gets worse. Around 2 a.m., an email was sent to a select few members of the Duke Lacrosse team by Ryan McFadden, and it was meant as a joke, to be clear. It reads, "To whom it may concern, tomorrow night, after tonight's show, I've decided to have some strippers over to Eden's 2C. All are welcome. However, there will be no nudity. I plan on killing the bitches as soon as they walk in and proceeding to cut their skin off while coming in my Duke issue spandex. All in besides Arts and Tack, please respond." Now, Arch and Tack were teammates of Ryan, and there were responses that were not sent to the media. But it was made very clear, eventually, that this was actually a play on American Psycho.
I'm sorry.
It was in very, very bad taste.
That's an understatement. You don't fucking send an email like that. That is... Oh my...
When I said that if this was a Reddit Am I the Asshole thread, it would end in you, everybody sucks here, okay? I literally mean it. Like, I wasn't kidding.
Like...
Everybody.
Okay, I want to state for the record, I very much enjoy dark humor. Jordan knows this.
I do.
This is not dark humor, though. This is just fucking... Oh, I can't even put it into words. I mean, ultimately, you know, let's look at it logically. That's even whether he was joking, which if that's his entire text of the email,
Yeah.
it wasn't implied that he was joking. So ultimately, it's a threat.
Yeah, there were other threads that responded back to it that were like further quotes from the movie. Like, people got it. They understood it was a joke. But the problem was, very quickly, the media sunk into this.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is the one time that I agree with that. They should have.
Yeah.
Like, this goes beyond just humor, you know, and dark humor. And it's just, like, I don't know. Like, I know, you know, I get 100% when you're in college, you're supposed to do stupid things.
And boy, did they. I get it.
This is beyond stupid. If there's a scale, you know, stupid is here. They went all the way up here.
And they did. And they did.
I can already feel my blood pressure going up.
We're not even barely at the beginning.
I know, that's what really scares me.
Because what you think is going to happen next is not even close. And if people are familiar with this case, then they know. But like this, the more that I learned about this case, the more I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I'll take a minute to add in, there is an incredible documentary done on this. It's currently available, I think, on Disney Plus, called Fabulous Lies, or Fantastic Lies. I'm sorry, Fantastic Lies. And it's really, really, really good.
I mean,
And they dive really deep into it. There's no way I can add every single detail. I just can't. But
and I will say, I know I've been spending most of the time focusing on them. But yeah, if Crystal definitely made a false rape accusation, she's an asshole too, definitely. Because that just hurts other women who actually do end up getting raped.
oh, you just wait. You just wait. So
Can I call in sick?
no, you're already here. Too bad. We're gonna continue. So, like I said, the police actually took this very seriously. Don't even 100% know why, but they really did. They took it very seriously. They got a warrant almost immediately to search the house and to get DNA from all the men who were present. DNA swabs were taken from both the rape kit, and DNA was taken from pretty much the entire Lacrosse team. Crystal gave her account of that night, and her story changed so many times. At one point, 20 men raped her, and she eventually changed it and narrowed it down to 3. 3 men raped her. So the house was searched, and here's the thing. The entire team, everybody who was there, was completely compliant. They admitted every single thing that happened that night. They admitted the racist comments. They admitted being every part of being an asshole. And they even offered to take polygraph tests to prove their innocence. The police refused. So after their entire search, the only piece of evidence that they found of anything happening was a broken piece of one of Crystal's nails in the trash can in the bathroom. So around March 16th, the police asked to have Crystal pick out her assailants from a photo lineup, which is cool, great. They're going into this, And most people are like, wow, oh my God, the police are awesome. We are going after rapists, especially gang rapists. Fantastic. Somebody finally cares. Except here's the thing. Here's the thing. Most of the time in a photo lineup, when you identify people, they give you a set of, so many people, and they'll give you your suspects plus a bunch of fillers. People that have literally no possible way of being there. In this case, they only gave Crystal the roster of the Duke Lacrosse team. That was it. After several tries, Crystal eventually identified the 3 team members who raped her: Colin Finnerty, Reed Seligman, and David Evans. All 3 were almost immediately arrested.
Okay. First and foremost, we've talked about this before, but I hate polygraphs. They don't work. They're unreliable. And we know this, but yet we still continue to, use them to try to prove innocence or prove guilt. I hate polygraphs. Sorry. Okay. Second, I could kind of partly understand why they did it that way. Because, there's a lot of people on the team and there's no way else to narrow it down. But, yeah, you're right. They should have put some, fillers in or something to... but I don't know. I mean...
That is not police standard. Not one little bit.
No, I mean, to be honest, though, the fact that they're taking this seriously is not police standard either.
No, it's not. And this whole thing's just going kind of wonky to begin with.
Yeah, because, typically, unfortunately, rape claims aren't usually taken as seriously.
No, I don't know how many rape kits are just sitting waiting for anything to be done with.
There's a lot of them that don't even get to that stage.
Exactly. Because nobody does anything. And it's horrible.
You can go online and hear stories from women who, went to the police and they were basically told to leave, that they didn't believe them, or that they're lying. And I mean, unfortunately, that seems to be the standard. And the fact that they kind of went the opposite is really weird in my mind. Um, Especially with the type of work she did, because obviously that plays a factor into it too, because police generally don't
Ding, ding, ding.
investigate those cases. Because, I mean, that's why, how many times have they been murdered and, just went unsolved because police just don't care?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember covering I believe it was the West Mesa Bone Collector, and most of those were sex workers.
Yeah, and then the one that I covered in the Long Island killer, same thing.
They go missing, and it's horrible, but so many people just don't notice and don't care. And that shouldn't be how it goes.
No.
That shouldn't be how it goes at all, because they're people too.
No, but now,
But in this case, they're just grabbing and running.
yeah, which is really weird to me. But now, do I feel bad for the guys? Yes, but a part of me is still like, good. At least they spent some time in jail. They really needed that. But I don't want anybody to get falsely accused and arrested. So it's like I'm torn because I really hate these guys.
I get it. So, on March 27th, 2006, keep in mind, this is going really fast. Mike Nifong, the district attorney, took the case on himself. Immediately, he briefed the press, making sure they knew he was on Crystal's side. He would make sure justice was had, because rape was not a joke. But the thing that people failed to realize at the time was that Mike Nifong was using this case for votes for his upcoming election.
I gotta just add this real quick. I really hate the fact that prosecuting attorneys are elected officials. Just like sheriffs, I hate that fact because
Yep.
it is so fucking stupid to me because of stuff like this. They use these certain cases to try to get votes. They're
Yep.
more worried about getting reelected than actually stopping crime.
Yep.
I mean, sheriffs are notorious about that. Basically they're, don't really care. And then right before, their election, they'll be tough on crime or, do stupid stunts and stuff.
It's about the story they show to the world and not about what they're actually doing.
Yeah, because ultimately what they are is they're politicians. And I hate fucking politicians with the passion. Those offices in particular should not be elected positions. Yeah. They should go to the person who is the most competent and the most,
the person who actually will do the job.
Yeah.
Correctly.
Yeah, I mean, and it should be, it should be non-political. That those offices shouldn't be politicized.
But they are. Isn't it just great?
I mean, it's so weird because like judges get appointed,
Yes.
But so it is in kind of politicized, but the judges take their job seriously because, obviously you can tell with, when a president appoints a judge and the judge goes against them because of the law.
Yeah.
They obviously take their job very seriously. And that's how district attorneys or prosecuting attorneys, whatever you want to call them, that's how they should be. Mm-hmm. They should get appointed, but then they should, because justice shouldn't be politicized, period.
No, I agree. It should be about the truth.
Now that I got off my little soapbox there, we can continue.
So, at this point, after he made his lovely statement, the media went crazy. They swarmed. Everyone believed Crystal's story. No one even asked the three men their side of the story. The coach was forced to quit, and the lacrosse season was completely canceled. Everyone saw privileged rich white boys attacking a poor black woman, and did not ask a single question. And that's what we begin to think that this case is originally about, right? So that's what the media was reporting. That's what everybody was going on about. And that's what we originally thought that the case was really going to be. We thought it's going to be about the media attacking the living crap out of these three guys who quite literally have no evidence actually against them. Which, don't get me wrong, they are assholes. They're 100% assholes. But from what we can tell, they're mostly innocent assholes. And this low-income black woman who's, a stripper. And I get it. Things aren't looking great, but you got to look at the facts, and they weren't doing that at all. This is one of the first big cases where the media just instantly believed one way or the other.
Playing devil's advocate here, because it all seems like this stemmed from the hospital trying to call CPS.
Yes.
And that, I think that's honestly the real problem there.
No, and I agree. And I honestly, people are going to come at me for this. As much as I really hate her.
Sorry.
I know that people are going to come at me for this, but I understand why she did it. She didn't want to lose her kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I completely understand that. Like,
she panicked, and I get it.
I'm not justifying it, and I'm definitely not saying that she should have done that.
Same. I agree entirely. I don't think it was the right thing to do, but I can understand it.
Yeah, and the fact that... I mean, okay. So we've definitely talked about this before. I hate CPS. It is not... I'm not going to get on that soapbox again, but essentially it's not about protecting kids. It's about, if you're poor enough, then they come after you, but if you're rich enough, they leave you alone. It doesn't matter what's going on with the kids. They don't care about the kids. And they have too much power. I get in certain cases them being able to take kids away from being in abusive homes is important. But a lot of the kids that get taken away from homes, it's not about abuse. It's for other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like in this case, she could lose her kids, solely based on what she does for a living. They may try to justify it other ways, but
yeah.
For
the record, she was on some stuff.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they weren't necessarily justified, but, I feel like regardless of if she was drunk or high or just, dehydrated, as soon as they found out what she did for a living, mm-hmm. I feel like, they would have it still would have ended up in the same, same part.
Yeah. And that's entirely possible, which is horrible.
But I do not agree with how she handled it, and I definitely do not agree with what she did. So that, yeah, she definitely should get charged and arrested and, with the false accusations and everything.
Yep.
So, yeah, so far I agree with you that everyone sucks in this case.
Yep. For the record, there is one person in the end that's pretty great.
I hope so.
All right. So when the case eventually went to court, which honestly, Colin Reed and David never really expected because of the lack of actual evidence, a number of things made this case, go from rape and racism and classism to so much more. So Mike Nifong was aware of the weaknesses in the prosecution's case. Crystal had changed her story more times than they actually wanted to count, and that's not a lie. I've looked it up, and they don't know how many times she changed her story. Okay. There was basically zero evidence of actual rape aside from the cuts on Crystal's leg. At one point, because the rape kit turned up no DNA evidence, Mike Nifong sent it to a separate lab for further testing. That testing did come back with some DNA evidence, but none matched any of the Duke Lacrosse team nor anyone at the party. It is very important to note that Mike Nifong hid, even from the court, that those tests exonerated the entire Duke Lacrosse team, all of them. On December 15th, 2006, the defense team rallied after going through the evidence themselves and discovering this DNA that Mike Nifong had been going on about the media. Okay? They discovered it was a total hoax. One of the members of the defense team stayed in office for days, in and out, learning every bit about DNA. Enough so that on December 15th, when they cross-examined the DNA specialist from that separate lab, it was discovered that not only did he know the DNA didn't match Colin, David, or Reed, but not any member of the lacrosse team, and Mike Nifong knew about it and told him to keep it a secret, which is completely illegal. Boom. He had the evidence to completely, just the case was gone, and he just hid it completely away.
Yeah, so here's the scary part is technically hiding evidence is prosecution's not, I believe they're actually allowed to do that. They're not, unless the defense specifically asked for it. But him telling the witness to lie under oath is definitely a crime. And honestly, I could be totally wrong. I don't know. Someone's going to correct me in the comments, so it'll be okay.
We're not completely educated on the law, but I know for sure that was illegal because, it was. Yeah. And that was a huge moment because he used this case just to get further in his own career. And he knew, here's the thing, I'm not going to go into crazy detail, but Mike knew, and he just used this case to further his career, and that's all it was. Even on his own team, everybody was like, this girl has no credibility in any of her sources. There's no evidence. There's no nothing. And yet, Mike has stated time and time again to the media, we have a solid case. There is so much evidence that we have, and just going on and on and on. And you have to understand, life was so bad for these three boys that were accused. And I get it. I do. They were assholes that night, and they may have been before. I don't know. I don't know what they were like. I don't know them.
Honestly, if they were like that night, chances are they've been like that for a while.
Probably so.
That's not something that just comes out one night.
But people were straight up attacking them. It was really, really bad.
I mean, they definitely shouldn't have been attacked for the rape. I mean, I'm not against them being attacked because they're fucking assholes, because they 100% are.
And I'm there with you. If they're just assholes, they're just assholes. And that's fine. But it's basically proven right then and there, nothing actually took place. And here's the thing. If you go back, and they really, really sunk in on this that night in the documentary. I didn't even try to go back into this because there were so many timestamps, so many this person, this person, this person, this person. I'm not going into that many names because there were 40 some odd people at this party, and that's confusing. There were, if you think about it, it's a college party. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody's talking to their girlfriend. Everybody's taking pictures. There were so many different timelines that you could literally put together from different snapshots, quite literally pictures of that night, that there was no possible way she was ever alone for long enough for that to have happened. Because you can literally find on everybody's phones a picture of this, a picture of this, a picture of this, a phone call from here to here, a picture of that. She was never alone.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if she's getting raped, she's not going to be
Well,
alone either way.
never alone even with those three.
Yeah.
She was quite literally always with Kim. She was in the middle of of everybody with pictures of the entire group. And I mean, I know at one point one of the guys was on the phone with his girlfriend for a solid 10, 15 minutes. And there's never a single time frame for it to have occurred.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% believe that it definitely did happen, but these guys are still fucking assholes.
No, I agree with you. I don't think that they're, at least at the time, that they were great people. I have no idea. I mean, this was 2006. I'm hoping that they've grown up a bit. I have no idea. Especially after this, you would think that some things have changed.
Probably not. Because honestly, it would probably reinforce their beliefs. So they probably just became worse. But now, I want to make this clear, because I know someone's going to take my words out of context.
Yes, they will.
I 100% believe these guys are innocent of rape. At least in this case. However, they are still fucking assholes. And they are still shitty ass people. But they do not deserve to be, accused of rape.
Because the thing is, and we've talked about this in other episodes, you can be an asshole. You can be a racist. But that does not equal you being a rapist or a murderer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Those things are not immediately the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's... I mean...
Can they be the same? Sure. But
Yeah.
they do not automatically make you the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm not going to sit here and say that these guys aren't. I'm just going to say in this case, this
Absolutely.
case, they are not. Doesn't mean that they haven't or they won't, but it just means in this one case, they didn't. That's all I'd say, and that's all I would ever say on any kind of case like this. I'm not going to say how they were before or after.
Yeah, because honestly, we don't know.
Yeah. And I don't really care to know about these people anymore after this case is over. And
there is information if anybody cares to look. I did so much deep diving on the rest of it and just got lost. Frankly, even just looking at court documents and everything else, I got lost. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a lot in all of this, trying to figure out timelines and everything else, trying to understand all of Crystal's different stories, and I just went, it's not that important. It's not that important. So, but there is information. I believe each of them ended up not going to Duke, and I can't blame them for that. Not at all. I do believe they all ended up still playing lacrosse at different teams, though.
I don't know anything about lacrosse.
I don't either. I actually, when I first started doing this case, I was like, God, I'm going to have to learn lacrosse, aren't I? But I didn't.
I kind of figured, because I know when she started researching this, she's like, I got to learn a sport. I'm like, oh, what sport? She's like, lacrosse. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to learn that.
I don't know anything about lacrosse. I still don't understand any of it. It's I'm not a sports person. This is way above my head. But anywho, to tie it up, there's some interesting good stuff. So on January 11th, 2007, the Attorney General took the case and officially announced that due to lack of credibility and evidence, Reed Seligman, Colin Finnerty, and David Evans were innocent and the case was dismissed, which is almost unheard of for people to do. And even better, on January 12th, Mike Nifong removed himself from the case entirely after his secrets and likely his motivations were completely revealed. And on July 24th of that same year, because of his actions in this case, Mike Nifong was disbarred. Now you may wonder what happened to Crystal. She unfortunately never seemed to get her life together. In 2013, she was found guilty of second-degree murder of her boyfriend at the time and was sentenced to 14 to 18 years in federal prison. And in 2024, she finally did publicly acknowledge that she lied about the rape in 2006 and publicly apologized.
Sounds like she may be getting her life together then.
Maybe finally, but surely back then she sure wasn't. So maybe like right now, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, the really sad part about it is, she may not have been raped that night, but chances are she probably was at some point.
Oh, 110%. In that line of business, I don't doubt that. Which is horrible. And I hate that for her. I don't think anybody deserves that, literally, ever. Nobody.
No, but again, I want to make it clear. In this case, she definitely is a bad person. Mm-hmm. But in this case specifically, as much as I fucking hate to say it, the Duke guys are not assholes. They are just assholes for their actions previous and probably after this case.
Solid chance. We don't know.
Well, I know they were before. That proved it. I just don't know about after.
Yeah, we.
But yeah, this case sucks. I hate this.
Yeah, didn't expect the surprising little twist of there being all sorts of little corruption-y stuff in there. That was fun. Yeah. I didn't see that coming. I expected this to be all about,
See, now that
a rape scandal.
Yeah, now that you told me about this case, I remember it. Mm-hmm. Because, it was pretty big.
See, I don't remember it. I don't remember it at all. And I should have, because I was 16, 17 when it was occurring.
See, I remember hearing about it, and I remember hearing about how much these guys were assholes.
So, this case was a roller coaster of racism, classism, and eventually corruption. But in the end, the truth came out. Evidence doesn't lie. Listen to the facts, and not the bias. Join us next time at Mysterious 51.